Hello everybody, welcome to Blue Goose Garage. In 1978, this car was hit head on. It was totaled. From 1978 until 2008, it sat around up here as a parts car. In 2008, we decided to fix this car, and that ended up taking pretty much exactly 10 years. It took me twice as long to fix this car as it did to fix my 67. Part of that was because it was the first time I ever did something like that. I mean, I've fixed wrecks before, but not 40-year-old wrecks. That was partially it, plus the way that I actually fixed this car was more fixing this car, you could say, because there's a lot more of that car sitting there. It's got most of the original floor pan, all the inner structure. You know, I fixed what I could fix and I replaced what I couldn't fix. Compared to my car where I just cut two in half. So, I hope you enjoy this 70 Chevelle L78 4-speed Chevelle video recap. So, here we go. Since I made the last video, the car's outside where I can work on it better. It's got the rear end and front suspension and all the glass. Soon to get the interior, engine, transmission, and brakes working. All right, folks, back again, looking at a 70 Chevelle. Pretty car. Now, if you want to see the build of this vehicle and where it started and where it's going and as it comes along, you can go to this guy's here channel, James Folks, on YouTube. And you just like the other guy. Every time I get somebody on the camera, they're like, hi, that's it. It's like, come on, talk. Well, this thing's a crazy build because you should have seen where it started from. Ooh, pretty dash. 4-speed car. It's a work in progress. But yeah, shit. I don't know how to shut a Chevelle. There we go. I'm a Dodge guy. Chevelles are weird. But she's coming along. Looking pretty good. Now, if you don't know, this car, the front bumper was about right here where the door handle was. Shortly after the 70s. Or actually, it was still the 70s, wasn't it? It was late 70s. 78. 78. And it is a real SS. So, this thing was really dickered. And he has worked for 10 years on this thing. As he can. Slowly restoring this thing. And it's now actually looking more and more like a car. It's actually turned along a long way from what the pictures he's got of her. Anything you want to add into the storyline, sir? No? No? You don't want to tell no more of the backstory? So if you want to know more of the backstory, you got to go to his channel and listen to him.
Come to mine and listen to me. Mumble.
Mumble. Hey, YouTube's YouTube. It might not be the best quality TV, but it's a lot better than what's on TV. Well, I can't really say that. Depends on the channel. You're not monetized, so yeah, it's commercial free. I'm not monetized, so it's commercial free. But like I've seen some of this, how it was started. Not all the way back at the beginning, unfortunately. I didn't get to see what it looked like when he first started, but I've seen the pictures. This thing was screwed. Like, literally, I don't think anybody out there would have started with a car that rough and actually, you know, built a car out of it. Are you going to show under the hood?
Don't mind the small block.
That's just holding the springs down, right?
That was holding the front end down so I could put the springs back in the car.
Right. I like your chrome harmonic balancer. Actually, I love this engine. I'm not a Chevy person, but the 3-deuce engine is cool.
I cut the firewall down through here.
Replaced all that. Of course, all that was crushed back into the passenger. I mean, almost in the driver's seat. So that's the original part of the firewall. And you really ain't really hardly put any aftermarket parts. Pretty much everything's been scavenged as factory actual Chevelle parts, ain't it?
Only thing aftermarket on this front end's the cow induction flapper. Hood's original and fenders. And
not to this car, but
not to another car, but it's an original hood. Original fenders.
Huh. Now the quarters, they're aftermarket, right?
Quarters, trunk lid, and rear valance. Aftermarket.
But everything else was a real, you know, Chevelle.
Yeah, I cut the roof off of another one.
Because it had bowed like a mother, right?
Yeah, and skinned it, straightened this one, put it back on.
Even the glass is real glass.
All tinted glass.
All factory tint glass. So you're doing it in this day and time the hard way, because it's easy to go, oh, I'll just spend a fortune and freaking buy everything brand new.
One of the hardest things to find was a factory 70 gauge cluster. You can find an aftermarket one for $600 or $700, but I wanted a real one.
Right. That's really the main testament to this car is the fact that here, I'm gonna open this door again. Is you're really trying to actually use real parts. It's not, it's a true, real trying to put it back to the way it would have been.
Steering column's original to the car. Steering wheel was long gone. So.
Yeah, because your dad was parting this thing out when he first got it back in 78 or what, right? So lots of the parts you wished you still had were sold.
He sold the engine, transmission, rear end, disc brakes, brake booster, pretty much anything that was worth anything.
Yeah, it was just that's been a 10-year-old car at the time, so it wasn't really sought after too much, I guess. It was just people needed parts, they bought them.
He had the original gauge cluster and tripped over it one night and threw it in the dumpster.
That the dash pad you're going to use?
Yeah. Original dash pad.
For the wreck?
Yep.
Hell.
I don't mind that it's cracked a little bit. I'd rather
be original.
I'd rather be original and run it.
Door panel. I mean the rear panel. Can't get a good angle.
Got one original armrest and
let me guess this one.
Yeah. And one painted one that came off of another car, another color.
Right. Is that door panel the one you're going to use too?
Have new door panels.
Oh, so you got new ones on those, huh?
I've been laying on that one. It's a piece of cardboard.
There's somebody out there that would freaking shoot you for that fact.
It's a Malibu door panel.
All right. Well, still somebody out there's like, oh man, I need a Malibu door panel. And you're just using it as a freaking piece of cardboard. Malibu. But, and you're going to run these wheels or are you going to run a different set?
Probably going to run these.
Old Kragers.
Having a set of air shocks for it. So.
You're doing this more like what it would have been in the 70s.
70s street machine.
Because back then, even though they were new, they didn't have perfect paint because they slid them into shit. And, they had Kragers on them. They had air shocks. Half the time they had side pops and freaking suede interior. So at least you're not doing that.
One time that car had a guardrail strap on the passenger side from tail light to headlight.
You've had to fix all that.
Had to fix all that. Had to fix where it was wrecked head on.
Because hell, when they fixed them back then, it was just knock it out a little bit, fill it full of mud.
Drill it full of holes and fill it full of mud. I got up here and was thinking I need to put the door panel on. Door panels stuck on the doors. We bought pretty much an entire interior kit at Ostley's Chevelle in North Carolina. Went over there and picked it up. I decided to test fit the shifter on the Chevelle's transmission because we got the new install kit. We didn't have one. Didn't even have part of one. But we did have this old Competition Plus shifter laying around. Got the Chevelle on the truck, but I couldn't back any closer to the building because it's muddy. It's gonna take a while.
decided to go ahead and hook up the hijackers. My power disc brake proportioning valve came in today. I'm going to go up in my yard and get the calipers and rubber brake hoses off the front of another one up here. They should still be good. If they're not, they're under warranty. So I got them off. Those were both rebuilt. All the brake lines were new, so I'm gonna try to run them for a little while. All right, so both sides are on. My brake line kit came in. Bought it from Inline Tube. That's a pretty neat little kit. Everything so far seems to fit good. I'm missing one thing that I didn't know about. And that's that valve. I didn't even know it existed. So I want to go get the one off of the original frame. We saved all kinds of stuff that was on that car, just in case at a later date we ended up needing it. And we ended up needing it. So there it is. So I'm going to take the bolts out of all this, take the brackets off, the holes off, and I'll be back in a second. All right, so I got done with my archaeological dig back there and got that hold off valve and all the brake clips and bolts that I could get out of that frame. Been wrecked since '78. Still got liquid brake fluid coming out of it. So hopefully that's been sealed the entire time good enough to be usable. All right, so they don't make anything like they used to. Brake fluid included. I blew through this and there's nothing wrong with it. All right, so I got the rear brake line on with the proportioning valve or whatever you want to call that. And I gotta go up off the parts car and get the brake hose. And then I gotta put the brakes on the rear end. And all the lines are ran. Then I gotta put a few clips on that one when I can find some bolts. So I got the brake hose, new brake lines, front to back, side to side. The only thing I need to do is anchor the lines down and put that bracket underneath the booster. But right now, I want to try to bleed them a little bit. All the lines are attached. I'm going to have some help to bleed the brakes, but hooked up close to right as far as I can tell. Today we're putting the engine in the car. Engine set in the car. Having to
slightly modify these headers. New rag joint came in. Steering's hooked up finally. Ended up getting a different set of headers that actually fit the car. It's got new plug wires, the plugs, cleaned up an old points distributor, found a coil, put the carburetor back on it, put all the hoses back on it. The only thing that's not hooked up is the alternator. It'll run off the battery. So I've been working on the seats a little bit. I got the front one mostly done. Still need to, I guess, paint the headrest. About to cover the back seat. I got it covered. May not be perfect, but if you remember my video on having to straighten this thing, I'm happy that it fits as good as it does. That was a skim coat. I already covered up the rest of it. Bought a parking brake or emergency brake cable set. Need to put parking brake cable on your car is definitely put it in the frame. Before you put the frame on under the car, because that's just about impossible. Then it's ready. Ready to paint, or as ready as it's going to be. I taped the car up and painted it. Sprayed it with that. I still have reducer in it.
Have to use that. Have to use that one more time. Have to put the straps on the car with it. This is the original trunk lid off the 70. I'm going to attempt to copy these onto this without a stencil, with a measuring tape and tape. With a measuring tape and some tape, I'm going to make my own straps. On the back anyway. Front's going to get a little more interesting because I don't have any original to go off of. Alright, so the front and back straps are taped up, scuffed, and the car's masked off. The front is almost 100% freehand, and the back is what the other one had. And it's scuffed with Scotch-Brite, so I want to spray it black. Alright.
Introducing our tough one, the 1970 Chevelle SS396. It's a great performer, except for one thing. No one gives it a chance to perform. Not that we can blame them. After all, there's a lot to admire about the new Chevelle SS396.
Your car?
Hey, what's that?
A no-nonsense cowl induction hood you can order that actually feeds in extra air when you accelerate. Functional hood pins.
Bobby pin.
No, these aren't Bobby pin hood pins, baby, and they're for real hood pins. This. Hey, 2 pipes. Gun it for me, will you, buddy? Oh, now, come on. What? Belted fiberglass tires, aren't they? Yes.
Consider this fair warning. When you order your Chevelle SS396 at your Chevy dealer's sports department, expect to draw a crowd, no matter where you take it.
power steering or where you want it.
In they coming?
Good this way.
You reckon they'd tear the rear end out if we tried to spin the tires?
My wheel hop.
Car coming.
Lost the camera.
Yeah, that's funny.
Harvey's old engine turned him over some though.
Yeah. And the drive shaft didn't ring out, so we made it.
Oh, really? Well, they got
That's great. All little customs here.
I figured out something else here. This is going to end up being the third video in this series. In the last video, I fixed the wiper motor's wiring, but I still need a wiper motor. In this video, I figured out that the switch for the air fan, for the heater fan, is bad. And so's the resistors for medium and low, because it'll run on high. Another issue it's got is the connections are dirty, which might be the only thing that's wrong with the resistor pack. When I take that out and look at it here in a minute, I'll let you know. But there's a possibility that I might just make high work off of a toggle switch and not worry about this. Because if there's anything wrong with that resistor pack down in there, see it? Shit, I can't even see it. Alright, see where yellow wire's running. If there's anything wrong with that resistor pack, it's not going to have low and medium. But I know now that with that bypassed, it runs. Alright, so off camera, I jumped the different wires. And it's not the wires. The plug is very, very, very corroded. And I mean, it's so bad that I'm honestly considering just cutting it off and stripping it and putting new ends on it because they're corroded too bad to use. But there's nothing wrong with this resistor. Medium might have an issue, but I mean, low's still good. And so, I mean, this would actually work. Original one too. So, I'm going to try to clean this. But you can see it's bad corroded. This don't show it very good. They're white. See, that was part of this car's wiring, and it's all sun bleached, and I'm afraid to bend the wires much. That's how bad all that is. But it's having no problem with current. So I'll put it this way. At the battery, there's 12.1 volts right now because the battery's down some. At this wire, there's 11.7. At the motor and high, there's 11.5. So a half a volt of voltage drop. That's not that bad. So, and if I check the battery again right now, the battery might be closer to 11.5. Who knows? It's cold. So, I'm gonna, off camera here, I'm gonna clean all this up, and if I get it to work other than the switch, I'm gonna show you this low, medium, high, and then I'm gonna try to take that switch apart, take it off, and try to take that switch apart. If it doesn't work, I may have to put a toggle switch on medium or something. I don't want it to run wide open. All I'm doing this for is, there was one time it started raining last year. I was coming home from a car show. I didn't have wipers and I didn't have defrost working. So it's just two more things I'm trying to get working. So I'll be back in a second. Low, medium, high. So all I had to do with that ballast resistor, or whatever you want to call that, whatever you want to call something that has voltage going through springs to go out to the fan, whatever. The only thing I had to do was spray some deoxit on it and go in and out a bunch of times, and then sprayed some oil in the connector, and it's getting a good connection there. You heard how the fan connection is kind of shit, kind of like arcing. Well, that's how every connection's been on that, on everything, and I hadn't cleaned it yet, so the spade connector's scraping off corrosion as it's going in, and it's arcing. But so the fan is working fine. The only thing I haven't done anything to is the switch, and I'm wanting to test it first to make sure that it's bad before I take it apart, because I don't like taking switches apart unless I have to. So if I can make it work without taking it apart, then that's what I'm going to do. I only need one speed. Well, we can see where how my intention of not taking that switch off and taking it apart went. But that's an original switch. I'm hoping I can take it apart without breaking those tabs off. It looks like that I might be able to fix that, so I'll show you what it looks like apart. Now I could also spray the shit out of the inside of it with deoxit and work it back and forth, but I want to know what it looks like. It's a really simple switch. You have these contacts and that slide, and it slides up and down. You got a spring pushing against a piece of plastic that the switch moves, and it's really only corroded on the outside and on the contacts. So I'm going to clean that up and then show you what it works like. Alright, low, medium, Off. All right, it works. Look at it.
What you got here is a El Camino green seat that has survived swamp-like conditions. What we're going to do with this here now, you see, is we're going to take the covers off the chevelle, and we're going to put them on this seat, because this seat ain't been bent because of being rear-ended in a previous automobile.
What he said.
Meow.
Yeah. Anyway, I have to use tracks off this seat. It's not bent. It's not broken. It's not rusted in half.
The folder works.
Mostly.
Well, it would work better if it was like not, took apart right now.
Yeah.
Get back on there. See, it's even got recline, so you can lay down and bang your baby. Here, we'll just lay that this way. There we go. Yeah.
Either way, it'll be going in the car real soon. Thank you, Tim.
And that's repair.
And it's
Greenville,
repair.
Tennessee.
Greenville, Tennessee. Make your shit start and make it charge.
You.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye. So here we are. Motors Auto Repair Manual from 1970. 67 through 96 main bearing cap bolts. It's got a 5 here. A 5, 2 bolt main, 95 foot-pounds. 4 bolt main, 105. May have to take a couple of the center ones out later and put the ones I have that have studs for a windage tray in it. I decided not to show putting the pistons down in it. All 8 rods and pistons, rings, bearings, everything is in it. The main caps are tight and the rod bolts are tight. Crane Fireball S326 D82. So the cam's in it. It's some time. The passenger side head's on it. Torqued down. I don't have valve springs on this yet because I don't have the ones I'm going to run to break it in. I need an oil pump. And the only one I have is this one. That's in great shape. So I'm going to take a die grinder and try to get the brass off of the seam so I can get that pickup tube out of the pump. Got the brass ground off and cleaned up the oil pump the best I can because, well, weld won't stick to brass. When I put a pickup back in that, I'm going to weld. Supposedly, this is a LS6 factory oil pump. And supposedly, they came with the pickup tube braced in. But it doesn't do me any good like that. I have to use it. So I'm adjusting the timing cover for the cam button. I figured I'd show you a little bit of this. I know I haven't showed very much when it comes to this engine. But a hammer's involved. I got that adjusted. It's not a roller cam, it's just something we wanted it to have. I put the balancer on it and a timing cover on it. I haven't been able to show very much putting this together because I'm running out of time. This is Sunday, and next Saturday I'm going to a car show in town, and I'm trying to get this engine to where I can have it in the car and take it. We're lifting the motor out. The duck,
in 1970.
the duck's lifting the motor out. We're lifting it out with this.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the wrong side.
Today would have been a pretty good day to show something, but with me getting help out here, and we took the engine out of the chevelle outside with a cherry picker on the bed of the truck, on the back bumper of that truck. Reached in here and put down the old motor and picked up the motor. I put this engine that I put together and put it in the car. When you're doing something like that, everything's difficult enough without adding in a camera. Alright, so everything's on it. It's got oil, full of water, fuel pump's hooked up, carburetor's full of gas. We're about to crank it up.
Let's give it a dose. Hope it start.
Ready? Yeah. Cranked on the first try.
Yeah. I'm gonna speed it up.
Well, you know, seeing it crank, but it was flooding bad. It was pig rich. The gaskets in that carburetor are dry. They're rotten too. So I'm going to try to come up with a few gaskets. this thing through a drive-through is fun.